Welcome to Study English with Sarah. In today's lesson, we're going to read an article about the psychology of budgeting, why smart people still struggle to save money. By the end of this video, you will have practiced an IELTS fill-in-the-gap exercise, learned some useful new vocabulary words, and improved your reading and listening skills. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Let's get started. In today's lesson, you will read an interesting article about the psychology of budgeting, practice IELTS fill-in-the-gaps questions, learn key vocabulary for money and personal finance, and improve your reading and listening skills. There's a lot to cover, so let's get started with the article. Before we begin, I want to share something personal with you. I remember watching my mum make a very detailed budget every week in her notebook. She had a column for every expense, and every week she would carefully update the amounts. She even took a calculator to the supermarket. I'm not quite as detailed as her, but I've always been pretty good at saving, something I had to teach my husband when we first met. Did you learn your budgeting skills, or lack of them, from your parents? Let's read the first paragraph together. Read along with me and pause if you need to. Most people know they should save money, but knowing and doing are very different things. Traditional financial advice often focuses on numbers and spreadsheets, but research suggests that understanding the psychology behind our spending habits is just as important. In fact, studies have shown that good budgeting habits can explain why some people build significantly more wealth than others, even when they earn the same salary. Budgeting, it turns out, is not about being stingy, it's about understanding yourself. The first step to building a successful budget is tracking where your money actually goes. Financial experts recommend recording every purchase, no matter how small, and dividing your expenses into two categories: essentials and luxuries. From there, you can set both short and long-term financial goals and distribute your income accordingly. Several popular budgeting techniques can help with this. The 50-30-20 rule, for example, suggests allocating 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings. Another approach, known as pay yourself first, involves automatically setting money aside the moment you're paid, before you have a chance to spend it. One of the most important concepts in personal finance is something called present bias, the tendency to prefer a small reward now over a large reward in the future. This explains why it can feel so difficult to save. Spending money today feels immediate and satisfying, while the benefits of saving feel distant and abstract. Understanding your own relationship with present bias can help you choose a budgeting approach that suits your personality. If you are good at resisting temptation, a detailed category budget may work well for you. If you tend to give in to impulse purchases, a simpler system focused on hitting a single savings target might be more effective. Perhaps the most surprising finding from the recent research is that overly strict budgets can actually backfire. When life is unpredictable, as it often is, a rigid financial plan can lead to poor spending decisions when circumstances change unexpectedly. Experts now recommend building flexibility into your budget, allowing yourself to move funds between categories when needed. The goal is not to create a perfect plan that you follow rigidly, but to develop a realistic and adaptable approach to managing your money. Smart budgeting, after all, is not just about discipline, it's about setting the stage for long-term financial success. Now it's time to practice your IELTS skills. I'm going to show you 6 fill-in-the-gap questions. For each one, pause the video and try to find the answer in the article. Use no more than 3 words for each answer. Ready? Here are questions 1 to 3. Here are your final 3 questions. Remember, no more than 3 words from the article for each answer. Pause the video and answer the questions now. How did you do? To check your answers, visit my Substack blog at studyenglishwithsarah.substack.com. There you will find full answer explanations for all 6 questions, the complete vocabulary list with definitions, and the full audio lesson with listen and repeat pronunciation practice. The link is in the description below. Now let's look at some of the key vocabulary from today's article. Listen and repeat these new words. Budget. Budget. A plan for how to spend and save money. Listen to it in a sentence. She made a careful budget at the start of every month. Budget. Psychology. Psychology. The study of the mind and how it influences behavior. Listen to it in a sentence. Understanding the psychology of spending can help you save more. Psychology. Wealth. Wealth. A large amount of money or valuable possessions. Listen to it in a sentence. Building wealth takes time and discipline. Wealth. Essentials. Essentials. Things that are absolutely necessary. Listen to it in a sentence. Food and rent are essentials. Luxuries can wait. Luxuries. Luxuries. Things that are enjoyable but not necessary. Listen to it in a sentence. Eating out every night is a luxury, not an essential. Luxuries. Impulse purchase. Impulse purchase. Something bought suddenly without planning. Listen to it in a sentence. That chocolate bar at the checkout was an impulse purchase. Impulse purchase. Backfire. Backfire. To have the opposite effect to what was intended. Listen to it in a sentence. An overly strict budget can backfire and cause you to make poor decisions. Backfire. That's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed reading about the psychology of budgeting and learned some useful new vocabulary. Remember to check your answers to the IELTS questions and to access the full vocabulary list and audio practice. Visit my Substack blog at studyenglishwithsarah.substack.com. The link is in the description below. I will post new English and IELTS lessons every week, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss one. I'll see you in the next lesson. Keep studying.